Hello everybody, I am Jedi Jack Penguin and welcome to another Summer 2021 LEGO Harry Potter review. So today we're looking at the second biggest set in the wave, that being set number 76393, Harry Potter and Hermione Granger. This set includes 1,673 pieces and retails for $119.99 when it came out back on June 1st of 2021. So getting right into this and looking at the box art, you get your main characters off to the side, logos at the top, as well as your regular stuff off the side. No minifigures, no chocolate frog cards, and no golden minifigures included in this set. Just the giant buildable big figs. This is the first time that LEGO's doing something like this, so it's really interesting. There are a few nitpicky things when it comes to this set that I'm excited to talk about, but overall this was something that I've been really excited to review and get a hold of, just because it's something so weird and odd, and just especially odd for another $120 set where we could have gotten another Hogwarts expansion or maybe even something from the Deathly Hallows, which I would really love to see something like that next year. Please, LEGO, come on, bring us Deathly Hallows set. Flip it over to the very back where you get some looks at how these characters can move around. You get some joints in the arms and the legs, and I'm not sure if you can actually turn the heads. Maybe Harry's head can turn a little bit, I'm not 100% sure, but like I said, I don't know too much about these, so let's open up the box and take a look at the box contents. Taking a look at the box contents, we get a total of 8 numbered bags to build this set. Some of the bags feature more than one bag, that being bag numbers 1, 2, 5, and 6 all feature 2 bags per. We also get a separate bag featuring Harry's cape, and we also get the 2 instruction manuals. Let's look at those. Within this set, we get a total of 2 instruction booklets, one to build Harry, and then the other one to build Hermione. Book number 1 builds Harry Potter. You get your QR code off in the corner. Very back features the winged guy, and you can flip right open to a transition to book number 2, or well, at least you should go to book number 2 after you're done with this one. As for the Hermione booklet, we have Hermione right there, no QR code, you just get that on the Harry booklet. And then from the very back, we get an advertisement for the Hogwarts layout, which currently I should have reviews up for these two. We'll be doing Fluffy sometime in the future, so look forward to that. And then we get the piece count for 2 pages. You can also most notably see a lot of the new printed pieces included in this set. And then we have another additional page of piece count also featuring Harry's giant cape. And then the final overall model for Hermione Granger. So yeah, that's all for the instructions, so let's take a look at these 2 giant minifigures. Looking at the final overall model for the buildable Harry and Hermione, overall I actually turned out really liking these sets. There are a lot of really cool building techniques used to get a lot of the angles done, and especially a lot of really nice slope pieces and tiles just to make it all nice and smooth. You don't really have too much studs exposing. I mean, a little in Harry and Hermione's hair, and also you do have to have the studs in order to be able to hold anything for these characters, but other than that, these are really, really cool looking display pieces. So to start off, I thought we'd take a look at Harry Potter. So starting off, I thought we'd take a look at the torso build, which the torso build features this large printed wall element piece for the tie area. We also get the stripes down at the bottom, the Gryffindor styling for all of that. We don't see a crest in the corner, which is the one thing that I would have liked to see here, but I think it's fine because these torsos technically mimic the torsos that we've been seeing from 2018 all the way to 2020. Another difference compared to Hermione is that we get the arm builds in black to match the cape, which I think is fine. I think it's really interesting that they have the cape going underneath the arms. You can also just see it from the very back. We don't get any printing from the back of the torso, we just get another just plain wall element piece, and we do continue that style all around, even from the very side of the character. I wish LEGO did side printing, that would be really, really cool, but, you know, they don't do that with regular minifigures, so that's just one thing that I did want to point out there. Now, when it comes to the cape piece, you put it underneath the arms. If you're interested to see how that works, you get this larger axle that I may have actually just pulled completely out of the socket, but you get the idea. It's connected using some Technic functions and some gears inside. We also get some posability when it comes to the hands, which are also removable, connected via another axle piece. We get a few recolors of parts in the flesh tone, which I really love seeing that kind of color come out from LEGO. You can move the arms up and down, and you can also move the hands side to side with those connections. When it comes to the base of the legs, I'm going to remove one of those, which are connected using some of these ball joint features, which are typically seen when it comes to construction figures, and some more of those axle pieces. You can see inside the leg how that works, and you can plop it right back in, and you get a pretty easy movable leg that you can move up and down and back, and you can just have the character sit if you really want to, and you can have the character stand, and you can pretend to have them running or something, which is really cool that they have all these different posabilities. My only real complaint with the legs is that we have this building on the side that tiles it off. Even though I like that it's all tiled off, I would have liked to see more of like a space there, because typically when it comes to minifigures, you have more of a space in between the legs, but I know that it would still look very weird if you had those two studs missing in that general area, so I think it's fine for what it is. Also, for those of you interested, you can also remove the legs of the character, which I really love that you can do that as well. So there's a look at the bottom of that, and I will also just plop on some pictures on the screen of me building this set, and there's a look inside. And then finally we have the head, which is also removable right there, which you can see we get one of those spinny plate pieces, which we also get for Hermione, but it doesn't work for her because her hair actually goes down past her torso, which is one thing that I do have to minorly complain about. I would have liked to see the hairs be separate compared to the heads, but they did have to put them all together as such. So looking at Harry's head, we get one giant print here on this slope piece in the flesh tone for his glasses, eyes, eyebrows, and mouth. We also see another print on this slope piece for his scar, which is slightly hidden by his hairpiece, which I really like how it turned out. We get a lot of different slope pieces being used for the hair, and you can see that all around as you turn his head. I think this is probably the easiest way to take a better look at it all around in 360. Lots and lots of building on the side, lots of slope pieces to get a lot of the angles done for that, and not too many studs showing all around the character. And now the last thing that I did forget to talk about minorly is the wand piece, which is also detachable. It's connected using some anti-studs on the studs on the character's hands, which I think they did a pretty nice job. You get a recolor of the BB-8 piece in black, which I believe we also saw in Diagon Alley, and we also see some building on the side right there that leads up to these longer pole pieces, these shorter pole pieces there, and you get a stud at the very top of the wand if you want to put some superhero blast pieces on top and pretend to have Harry making magic. Looking at Hermione Granger, the build is fairly similar to Harry, where we get the same build for the legs, but we see this more dark gray stuff going on down here. I guess that's to represent like more of a skirt going on for like a year 5 appearance. They never would have done this in typical LEGO because they don't really dual mold like that ever. And also I did want to point out, now that we have a clear shot of the back of the legs, is that we don't get the holes back there. I understand why they didn't do that, it would make it less stable, but it's one thing that I do have to note as missing. We do get the holes, however, at the very bottom of the feet, which I appreciate LEGO doing that. You can sit Hermione down, and there's a look at her sitting from the very back. And you can stand her up and do a lot of the same functions, same building techniques as you see for Harry. And you can also juggle out her legs if you want to just separate the legs just like Harry, and change them out with Harry's to see what they would look like in completely black. And you can also put on Harry's cape on Hermione if you really want to. As I said, you can easily remove the arms, and there's actually how it should look, where you get those axles sticking out, and you can also see a lot of the building techniques. Now removing the wand that we get with Hermione, same connection that we get for Harry with the anti-studs and then the studs on the hand. One notable recolor here is the pumpkin piece in dark tan, which I think is really cool to see. Same sort of building style as Harry's wand, though we just get a different thing going on at the very bottom of it. As I mentioned, with Harry, we get the same printed piece from the very front of the body to represent the torso, and then a new print for Hermione is her facial expression, which more mimics a year 1 version, year 2 version of Hermione, which is my only other complaint, because we do get these longer legs, and both of these characters feature the year 1-2 facial expression, so I don't know what LEGO was thinking. Would have been really nice if they got away with like maybe the year 3 facial expression for both these characters, but then again, they'd have to change Hermione's hair to match that, and that's another thing that I would have really liked to see, maybe the year 3 hairpiece for Hermione instead of this one. And even on top of that, I have another idea that I'm going to mention at the end of this video, and I'm going to try and see what I can do with that. But before we talk about that, here's just a look all around at Hermione's hair, which they use a lot of slope pieces here and a lot of tile pieces. You get a few studs exposed, just like Harry's. It's pretty much the only area other than the hands where the studs are exposed. And you can just take a look at all of the different building on the side going on when it comes to that. And finally, as I said, we get one of those spinny plates inside there, which you cannot turn Hermione's head because we get the building on the side over here for the hair, which covers up the torso from the front and the back, so you cannot turn her head, but you can in fact take it off. Well, I now understand why they didn't give Hermione the cape, because her hair interferes way too much with that piece. But here's a look at Harry Potter without the cape, where we have the dark gray arms, and then Hermione with the cape with the black arms, and I did switch out the leg pieces so then they'd stay consistent. Overall, I really like how this new system is really customizable. I'm excited to see what LEGO brings out in the future when it comes to these larger style figures. If we get any from Star Wars, Marvel, DC, it would be really, really cool. And I do have another idea for a Harry Potter one, that being Lord Voldemort. Now hear me out, we don't get Ron Weasley in this set, which I think is a real bummer, but LEGO could have avoided this entire problem by not including Hermione, but giving us Voldemort and having Harry and Voldemort fight. That would have been a really nice set, though again, they would probably have to do another new printed part for the body, but hey, that would have solved their problem of not having Ron in this set, because I know a lot of people are really going to want to get a Ron Weasley. I'm also really interested to see if anyone actually mocks up a Ron character and if anyone mocks up any other versions in this style, and I'm really interested to try it myself, so maybe I'll get onto doing that before the end of the year, so look forward to maybe another video. We'll have to wait and see if I can find the parts and whatnot that I need to get that accomplished. But yeah, let's turn these two guys around and then change them back and compare them to their minifigures. So before I end this video, I thought I'd plop in both of the minifigures that these characters are representing. I did have to do some mix and matching of certain parts because the year 1 versions of the students have the short legs, not the long legs. Hermione was the easiest, you just gotta plop on a plain pair of black legs. And then Harry, I did have to go running and find a black cape for him, and you would have to change his arms in black. But then again, LEGO doesn't typically do that when it comes to LEGO Harry Potter minifigures anymore. And as I said before, LEGO could have easily avoided some of the problems here by just basing both of these characters plainly on Prisoner of Azkaban, having changed the facial expression for Harry, and having changed the facial expression and hair for Hermione, or even just get rid of Hermione because we don't have Ron and just add in Voldemort. But overall, for $120, I think that this set is certainly worth it. If you're a hardcore LEGO Harry Potter collector, this is a really nice display piece and even a really cool play piece that you can customize, even where you can take off the legs, the arms, and hands and stuff. I'm really excited to see what people do when it comes to mocks based off this new style of building. I'm really excited to see what LEGO does in the future because I'm actually interested in picking them up because this was such a fun and exciting and interesting weird set for LEGO this year, and I really hope that there's more next year, if not this year. So yeah, that's pretty much all that I have to say for this video. Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below, what your thoughts are on this set. Also remember to like and subscribe and hit that bell icon so every time I upload a new video. So yeah, that's it for now, and I will see you next time. Bye!